And we're glad that you can join us because, we can't have the cameras in our faces. We're glad that you can join us because we've just reviewed the movie and we've talked about what old classrooms look like and old things look like. And we want our classrooms to be as exciting as homecoming. And I don't feel like my classrooms have always been as exciting as homecoming. So I want to change that.
So what's the big piece in that is how do you make it so engaging for students as learners? And how does the teacher make it engaging? That's a big question.
It is a big question. And I think one of the things that we're going from learning to read, learning to use numbers, learning to write, and now we have our students who are digital students.
Yeah.
And that brings a whole new kind of literacy to us. And so our literacies now include, you're going to have to help me out, because media literacy, which we learned about in the Jenkins white paper, which is really good. The Horizon report gives us a lot of really good information and visionary things that we need to be doing. And
well, I think communication, collaboration, when you look at things like the NET standards for students and teachers, innovation is information literacy.
Yeah.
Digital citizenship is a huge thing. Ethics, civics, all of those things are sort of new 21st century literacies that we, in the past, we've sort of, you hear about the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. This is a new kind of skill learning. It's
a new skill set. And as teachers, we're expected to know how to teach this skill set, and we may not have been taught that ourselves.
That's right.
So,
and I think that's really hard, because one of the things that people like Thomas Friedman speak about in his book is how, if we're going to succeed as a country, we need to help kids learn how to invent things and innovate and think for themselves, be self-directed. That's very different than what we learned to teach as teachers.
So how do we do that when you're stuck in a classroom with so many tasks that you got to accomplish, and NCLB and assessments and all? And our vision is you don't do it alone. And so we want to, this keynote is hopefully going to help you find a community that you can do this with others. And after we talk, we're going to actually show you how to join a Skype chat or a chat room that is ongoing, never closes. Sounds like, what was that old show with Everybody Knows Your Name?
Cheers.
Cheers, yes. So the Skype Cheers, the Seedlings Skype Cheers, and you can stop by at any time and get support, and we're going to show you how you actually sign up for that. And anytime you go to Skype, there'll be a running list of questions and support from people, and you don't have to go it alone.
And I think what you're seeing now is really interesting, because the three of us normally are not together. And when we tried to do a collaborative online movie of this keynote, we decided that we needed to do a conversation and have it in a cafe. And so we're in an outdoor cafe right now and having this conversation, recording it and making this to engage you and then hopefully motivate you to join our network that we have. You don't have to go it alone.
So do we want to talk any more about how you can join the revolution? Because it is a revolution.
Well, I think we probably ought to introduce ourselves.
Great idea, Alice.
And then we'll start the revolution. How does that sound? So with that being said, I'm Alice Barr, And I'm the Instructional Technology Integrator at Yarmouth High School in Yarmouth, Maine. And I work with high school students in a one-to-one laptop setting.
Nice. And I am Cheryl Oakes, and I work in the Wells-Ogunquit school system. And I'm a K-12 collaborative content coach, which means I get to work with all teachers and students K-12 and supporting them, coaching them on using technology tools with the content and the curriculum that they are working on.
And I'm Bob Sprankle, a technology integrator at a K-4 school in the same district with Cheryl, and it's called Wells-Ogunquit Community School District. And I was just thinking the revolution will not be televised, but it will be preserved on flip video. So
Yes.
we're using flip videos to get different perspectives here, in case you're wondering why we're holding these little things.
Right.
In front of our faces.
Yes. And as always, we have a purpose for doing that. We're demonstrating some technologies that we hope you'll be able to use in your classroom. Some of the technologies that we'll be demonstrating are the flip video and the ease at which you can use them. Skype, which is internet telephony, and you'll learn how to be engaged in a Skype chat that is ongoing. We'll also reference our Seedlings Ning, and that is ongoing, where you can get support, join groups, and post questions or post reflections that you have about what you're working on in your classroom.
And the interesting thing about the Seedlings Ning is that we started it as one of our sessions last year, and we have a great community already started there. So right away, should you choose to join that, you'd have a lot of support right from the beginning. It's a really nice group of people who answer questions or pose questions often.
Right.
So that's a lot of fun.
I think our most pressing question that we've been talking about for a while, and I think it's really with some reading that we've done, is how can Web 2.0 and using these tools help you allow for your students to be collaborators or co-creators of the learning in there. Would you guys like to talk about that at all?
Well, I think of the latest and greatest thing that most people have been using in the past year, almost 18 months, was VoiceThread. And it's such a great thing for beginners to use because, first of all, it allows you really easy access to publish whatever you're doing in your classroom. If you want to publish about a field trip or you want to publish about students answering a math problem, you can post that information, and students and anyone else viewing that can type a message, record a message with their audio, and now with the advent of a lot of built-in cameras, they can give you a video recording of their messages or comments about whatever you're sharing in the VoiceThread. So I think that that's one of the greatest tools that has brought many beginners using the Web 2 technologies into the arena, and then through that they've made great connections with other kindergarten teachers or other 6th grade teachers or other math teachers, and then that growth, that journey continues.
And we really believe that it doesn't matter what the tool is. The tool's not important at all, and that's why we're using Skype as our support this time, because we're thinking a lot of people have at least heard of Skype, or a lot of people have been using it to make long distance calls from their computer. So we hope that it's got a familiar feeling. And one thing that bringing in these technologies is that it has a transformative effect that can get us out of these patterns of what we've been doing. And if you think about these flip video cameras, you can't help but lose control of some of the things you've been doing and being the only person controlling the learning. When you hand these out to your students, they're gonna take over, and they're gonna start to contribute. And so that's how we see technology, with that transformative effect.
And what I think is really interesting, when you hand kids a tool like this, they will think of things that you would never, we would never think of using them. And it's amazing what they create, or what they think of to create. It's pretty neat, pretty exciting.
And I think along those lines, it shares the ownership for the learning. so that no longer do we have to come to school with our whole bag of tricks ready to entertain for the day. You know, we can pass out some of these tools and students will find appropriate ways to use them, and they will find innovative ways. And that's really one of the tools that we want, skills we want students to have, is to be able to create and to have innovative things to share with other people and to collaborate.
And, you know, we really believe that people want to make meaning out of their lives, and part of using these tools to create satisfies that human need, and definitely helps preserve, we believe, preserve the work that they've done so it doesn't all just blow away. So if students are archiving their learning with flip videos or something like VoiceThread or whatnot, then it makes it much more meaningful. How about differentiation? How does jumping into the revolution help with differentiation?
These tools help all kids, no matter what. It's very simple.
Yep.
There is a tool or a technology for every learner.
Mm-hmm.
And the engagement part really has a lot to do with that. One of the books that we will offer up, and we have a couple articles we should mention too, a new book out by Clayton Christensen called Disrupting Class. And what he's talking about is that differentiation is really almost impossible for a school to do in a factory model that we've had for the past 100 so years, and that the software choices are what's going to make this be more possible, where we can differentiate for different learning styles. It's an excellent book to read, and he talks about like the software that's emerging, some of what's in place, certainly these Web 2.0 tools that is going to make this possible. So it's very exciting. Highly recommend that book.
And we already talked about the Jenkins white paper. Another
Did you say the title of that? The
no
challenge. What is it? The challenges of participatory culture. So that whole thought of, you know, we live in a society now where people don't want to just ingest; they want to be part of the creation.
And the other article that we had that we'd really like to promote is Pow Wham.
The Power of Pow Wham by Dr. Shore, coming out of the Cooney Institute, and again about the skills necessary for this new future and how to engage students in this participatory culture. Those go very well
together.
The
kids naturally participate, and so it makes, this makes perfect sense how some of these tools have developed, how some of these tools are used in the classroom. I watch students often at the end of the day. They're all working together in small groups at tables. They all have a computer with them, but they're having a conversation, they're doing work, and very often they're also talking to people who are not in the room all at once. And they feel strongly that they're able to learn that way, they learn better that way, and they'll tell you that. And yet in our classrooms we're on a very one-to-one teacher-student, two-way street, and that's really it. And it's very interesting to see it happening before our eyes yet when they walk in the classroom door. They're in those nice straight rows in their desks.
I was thinking about using specifically a flip video camera, and we have a young student who just is a kindergarten student, and he's not very verbal, and I thought what a great tool this would be for him to take a flip video walking down the hall or into his class or into a therapy that he's going to, and then take that home and share it at home, because that would certainly be his window. If he was filming, that would be his window on his day, and not an adult transcribing what his day looked like. And think of the power in that, for a little guy who's not verbal to be able to quote unquote verbalize or visualize what his day is like. So that's where we need to get out of the business of collecting and keeping that bag of tricks to ourselves, and making that available as communication tools to our students.
And we're in the sort of the beginning strand, so, welcome to all the new people that are really taking this plunge, and we salute you. And really, in doing this and starting your own community of learners, joining a Skype group like we've set up, or a Ning, or any of those other things, well, then you're really showing your students the skills that are necessary for their future careers, because this is how it's going to happen, where people are going to collaborate. That's the place, to me, that Web 2.0 has in our classroom. If we leave it out, if we leave some of those social networking tools out because we're afraid of them, then we're not helping to prepare students at all for some of what you were saying earlier, the ethics and responsibilities and things like that. So you've done a great thing for your students already by climbing aboard the K-12 online revolution,
Right.
magical mystery tour.
And don't just take our word for it. Argue with us. Come up with a reason why you shouldn't be doing something. But, really look at your students and look at that homecoming message. Is your classroom a journey and an adventure that elicits that excitement, not only of your students, but you remember in the video, the messages from the people in town who were on the route to the basketball tournament, for the students to have the power to continue on. And that's what we want. We want our whole community. We want our parents, our students, our community members to really support what's happening. And in order to do that, we have to start publishing what the students are creating in a responsible fashion.
Any summary that we can offer?
Well, we will have an opportunity in Illuminate for participation with anyone who's been part of the video, or even hasn't been part of the video, just wants to be part of that Illuminate session. So you would have an opportunity to talk to any one of us and any of the group of people who will be participating in this K-12 online event.
And of course, that's the synchronous part of the conference, but K-12 lives on many years after. So if you are discovering this sometime in the future, please, please come and get in touch with us. And we do a Seedlings show, and we'll have our Seedlings Ning, as we said, and it's ongoing. It just doesn't stop. So don't feel like you've missed it because you didn't get to the Illuminate.
Right.
For sure.
Right. I think.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah. And have a great time. It's so amazing to be a learner and just taking it all in. Take it in, check it out, go slow, but do it because it's so worth it.
That's basically it. The Nike slogan, just do it. There's lots of support, and you know what I think, when you tell people to just do it and they're just really scared about that, there's no roadmap for this. We are the new frontier, and our students are the new frontier, and we have to support the successes and the failures, and the mistakes are all things that you won't do again or you'll modify. And we don't know what our students are going to be doing in 5 years, much less 10 years. We don't know what we'll be doing, but this is the journey that we're on. So fasten your seatbelts and we're off.
Thanks for listening, and we'll have an explanation, a little screencast of how to sign up for the Skype chat room, and we look forward to talking with you there. Take care.
Over and out.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, the first thing you're going to do to join the Seedlings chat is to go to Skype and download Skype if you don't already have it. It is a free download. And once you've downloaded Skype, you're going to go to this address here. I made a tiny URL of the address because the Skype address for Seedlings chat is quite large. So this is it right here, tinyurl.com/562nm4. So go ahead and go to that. And it should bring you to a window that looks like this. And you'll see Open Public Chat. And when I do that, a little pop-up will come up and have me go choose the Skype application. So you'll just click there and drill down to your application folder and find Skype. Now this is Macintosh, but I assume it'll be pretty similar for Windows as well. And so if you don't already have Skype open, that will open up Skype, and you'll see that a chat window comes up. And right now I have Webcast Academy Mega Chat, and so this shows, that a lot of people leave a lot of messages in these chats in such a group as Webcast Academy. And here I am looking at the last year that I belonged to the chat for Webcast, and there's quite a lot of messages in there. Now over here, this is the Seedlings one, and I'll click on that. And again, I can look at all the messages. I'm looking at the recent ones. I can look at 6 months there. And so there you're in the chat, and like any chat, you would just leave a comment here, and people would respond. If I open up the Seedlings chat over here in the window, you'll see all the members that are currently signed up for the Seedlings chat. Now here's the important thing. Up here where it says Seedlings, you'll notice a little book, like a bookmark. And what you want to do is either click that or go up to, let's see, set bookmark under chat, and that will keep this set within your chat bookmarks. Now you want to do this so that you don't have to go through and sign up again to get back into the chat or find the link. And let's say this was closed. If I close all my chats, I have my bookmark chats up in the window here, bookmark chats, and then I just can open up Seedlings again, and I haven't lost that link. So that's how you sign up, and we can't wait to see you in the chat room. Thanks a lot.